So the match finishes Nottingham Forest 1, Ipswich Town 0. Welcome to the player ratings. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the player ratings, where Forest got over the line by a goal to nil and get back to winning ways. If you're watching this later, let me know who your man of the match was in the comments. If you're watching now, let me know in the chat who your man of the match was. And if you haven't already, make sure you've hit that like button. Please do subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And let's get into my thoughts and the player ratings. Look, the first thing that stands out to me is something that was clearly said by Nuno in the press conference was, we build from a clean sheet. We've conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games, and a clean sheet is basically a must for him. And that's what we saw today. Forest got the lead. We'll talk about the goal in a second. And got the 3 points, which puts us back level as things stand with Liverpool, with Arsenal and Chelsea. I know they've still got to play, but up to 6th in the league. And if we break it down, I'll be honest with you, the first half wasn't really a spectacle. It was probably one of the most boring halves I've seen. There was a couple of chances. Morgan Gibbs-White had a header early on from a corner that he put into the side netting. He had Callum Hudson-Odoi, being selfish, in my opinion, could have squared the ball to Wood, and then the ricochet came back to Yates, who just dragged his shot wide. And then nothing really else materialized for Forest in that first half. Ipswich could have had 2 goals, and to be fair to Ipswich, I think they're not too bad a team, and you can see them putting up a decent fight this season. I think Delap was Forest's best defender in the first half. Why he took the ball off Chaplin, I will never know, but that could have been a guaranteed goal. And then they had another chance. I can't remember who the defender was that took the header, but Einar clears it over the line to keep the score at 0-0 at half time. And what you can tell is that Nuno got into the players at half time. Forest came out with a new energy. With Jota coming out in the second half, starting like a house on fire for me. Really, really snappy, getting forward, trying to get in behind his fullback, and then wins the penalty. Okay, he sold it a little in terms of the dive, but it was 100% a penalty. And then Chris Wood just absolutely slams that ball. I'm surprised it didn't break the net, straight down the middle, and Forest go 1 up. Now, after that, Forest did dominate possession, I would say, and the play for the next 15 minutes or so. And if you are remembering, you haven't seen the goal yet, exclamation mark goal, you can see the goal, by the way, and the penalty incident itself. So we then dominated for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then when it got to about the 75th minute, you just felt, 70th minute, sorry, Nuno just thought, all right, enough's enough. I want my clean sheet. And that's when he started to make the finisher substitutions, as he calls it. So overall, wasn't a fantastic performance. But honestly, I don't care. If you said to me 1-0 before the match, take the 3 points, kind of stop the rot, and move on. We've got 2 tough Manchester games coming up in the next 7 days. I'm happy with that performance. I really am. But let's see if you guys are. So the player ratings, if you haven't done this before, if you click on the link that's pinned in the chat, you can then go and do your player ratings. You can judge them from 10 being the best game of their life to 0 being the worst player on the pitch, with an average being 6. So go fill your player ratings in if you haven't already. And let's jump across to the player ratings screen and get this show on the road. So, player ratings. There we go. Okay. So just before we get into the player ratings, don't forget to check out our sponsors, Football Prizes, who are giving away this lovely double-signed framed shirt with Elanga and Hudson-Odoi both signed. Einar, you can win his shirt, insta-win, if you hit that ticket number, and same with Alex Moreno. All you need to do to get to the link is scan this QR code here, or click on the link that will be in the chat, or type in exclamation mark prize. I gotta say, I didn't think either of those two had a great game, but it is a beautiful, beautiful prize. So check it out. Let's talk about Sells. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think Sells had much to do today, guys. There was one shot from Clark that was straight at him in the second half. There was one in the first half where he kind of pushed it out into the middle. I think it was a decent performance. Remember the original player ratings? That was chaotic, but loved it. Yeah, that was crazy, man. Like reading all your scores out. Could you imagine us doing that now? It'd be here all night. For me, I've got nothing against Sells' performance, but I don't think he had much to do, if I'm being honest with you. So I think I'll give him a 7 out of 10. It's good and not bad for me. He just didn't have much to do. It's hard to rate someone who probably didn't even break a sweat today. So I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. Let's see what you guys did. 7.18 from you guys in the chat. So about the same. About the same. Few of you saying 6, couple saying 7. Martin being specific with a 7.3. Clean sheet still got to be an 8. Says Fraser. Do keepers break a sweat? Well, they do usually play in long sleeves, so maybe they do. Maybe they do. We won in clean sheet. Be generous, Wolfie. Should be an 8. I know what you guys are saying, but I'm just saying I'm saying it in a positive for frick's sake, you lot, man. He didn't have anything to do. He didn't have anything to do, in my opinion. Owen saying, I'm going Milenkovic for man of the match just because I've not given him one all season and he's been brilliant. We'll get on to man of the match in just a second. So you guys got 7.19. Let's bring up the start. Let's go to the right back. So Einar. While I'm bringing that up, please don't forget to hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. Get that sub count up if you're not subscribed here. So, Ola Einar for me was sensational today. I think one of his better performances. He's had many good performances, but this one was right up there. It reminded me of his performance at Liverpool. He kind of just like was always playing with his food at times when the winger would come onto him. He'd just be like, all right, not going to tackle you now. I'm going to tackle you now and just poke the ball out of him, pick it up, and away he goes. I'd say the only negative I can tell you about Ola Einar today was that foul throw, which I'm sure he was quite embarrassed about. But outside of that, guys, he was fantastic. He ended up on the left-hand side for a little bit in the second half as well. He's just very calm, very composed, very relaxed. It's almost like his football today reminded me of his personality. It was just cheeky. It was a cheeky performance. I'm getting quite hot in here, bloody hell. So yeah, I think Ola Einar, for me, I'm actually going to go quite high on this one. I'm going to give him a 9. I thought he was really, really good. Am I being biased towards my favorite player? Maybe. Let's see what you guys did. 8.3. 8.3. 30,237 in attendance today, most since the 80s. Oh, once we get our extensions and everything, that will be destroyed. That will be destroyed. You bloody love Einar. I do, Chris. I do, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Sign him up. Sign him up. You guys are harsh on him. You guys have got other Einar agendas. Okay, let's move on and talk about Milenkovic, who is just. This is just another Milenkovic performance. I thought he was really strong in the air today. Didn't really miss a header that I can remember. Always, you love him too, says Chris. Always calm, always methodical. It's almost boring in a nice way, isn't it? He's never going to cause you drama. He's just calm. As Owen said, I didn't even notice Delap playing. You lot were freaking going on about Delap all week in the comments, man. And the best thing for me about Milenkovic was before the match. He almost took charge of that huddle. He was G'ing them up, pushing them on, thumping them in the chest and what have you, just leading. And that's what he is, a leader. So for me, he was fantastic today. He's about an 8.5. I'm just going to go an 8, probably an 8.5. I just don't have half points. If anyone watched with Bertel's commentary, the guy is a grade A. Should have been watching on the watch along, VB. We had we had a different type of bell on this one. So I'm going to go 8.5 for Milenkovic. Let's see what you guys did. Excuse me, 8.1 from you guys. Okay, I'm okay with that. Anywhere between 8 and 8.5 for me is right. Don't call your Mrs. Einar tomorrow, Kija. It's fine, Kija. Our anniversary was Monday. It's just I had to wait till the weekend to get all my stuff done. But yeah, no, she would understand. Like, why? She surely would take it as a compliment if I did. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on and talk about Murillo. Again, the defense today, I've got no real issues with. The only thing with Murillo, sometimes I feel like he passes a ball too long rather than I just want to see him dribble it out more. There's a couple of times there where I think he could have just taken the ball and just walked through the Ipswich team, but didn't quite. He nearly got a classy second goal. That header, that was a fantastic save by Muric. I forgot to mention it in the summary at the start of this. But yeah, that header was very close to going in. So Milenkovic wasn't brilliant, Wolfie. Murillo was much better, as was Morato. All right, calm down. Going all Brazilian. I think for me, I would match him with Milenkovic, and I'd go like an 8.5. Anywhere between an 8 and an 8.5, I think is acceptable for Murillo. It was a good header check. Absolutely, it was. And let's see what you guys did. That's not acceptable. 7.8. Yeah, no. I don't remember him doing anything wrong, guys. If he did, correct me in the chat, but I honestly don't remember it. I just don't think he looked as composed as Milenkovic. So I'd give, for me, Murillo was an 8. Milenkovic was like an 8.5. Without Milenkovic, Murillo isn't as good. Yeah, I agree, man. That's why they're M&M. Rubbish 9, says David. Hudson and Elanga were poor. I mean, you lot talk to yourselves, right? Argue it out yourselves. You collectively went 7.8. And can one more person vote so I don't get the 99 OCD, please? Thank you. All right, but whatever. Let's move on. Nico Williams. Nico Williams is an interesting one for me. Right. Let's just bring him up. I don't think defensively in the first half he looked very good. I think for me in the first half, they targeted that side of the defense and got in a couple of times. But I thought going forward, he was fantastic. DJ, thank you so much for the 27 months, buddy. Appreciate it. And I thought in the second half, he was really good. It's a tough one. If I was going to rate his first half performance, it would be like a 6. If I rate his second half performance, it was an 8. I really liked what he did with the inverting inside Callum Hudson-Odoi. At times, he was almost playing like a number 10, which was quite an interesting tactic to see. You guys are right who are saying it in the chat. His free kicks were horrific. Absolutely horrific. Straight at the keeper or wide. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go between the 6 and the 8 and give him a 7. I think 7 for me for Nico Williams. We need to tie some elastic to Williams and the post. He might track fully effing back, says Graham. Fair enough. Red Bar is watching. Okay. Fair 7, says Tom. 7 is fair. Okay. Oh my God, you lot are agreeing with me for once. Well, let's see if collectively you agreed with each other. What did you lot go for? 6.6. I don't know. You lot said I was fair with a 7, and then you've gone collectively as a 6.6. Are you lot fair to each other? I don't know. I can't decide with you guys. It's the 7 side of 6 though. Oh, well, you're saying the round up thing. You'd think we lost with those ratings, says Owen. Indeed. Choco with the 10 Australian dollars. He says, financially covering Jess and her absence on here, as you can pay me back. You're a legend, bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, bro. And don't forget, if you want to grab me a coffee, you can buy me a coffee. Put !coffee in the chat. and you can grab me a coffee. I'm going to need one after this player ratings. And please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new as well. Okay, so I think you guys are a little hard. I can understand it. I don't think the first defensively he was a little bit lacking. All right, let's move on and talk about the midfield now. Ryan Yates. I thought he was all right today. I didn't see any problems or issues with his performance. He got an elbow early on in the face, didn't he? No, I thought he had a good performance today. I got no complaints with Ryan Yates. Coffee my ass, rum all day long, says Phil. I'll give Ryan Yates a 7 out of 10. Now, I would say he does need to sort out his finishing. He really does, man. That shot in the first half wasn't great. Wasn't great at all. So, but yeah, outside of that, what I did like was in the second half, he headed the ball back across the goal. If someone was there or he'd headed it a little lower from that corner, we would have got our second. But yeah, fine performance for me for Ryan Yates today. Let's see what you guys did. Pretty much bang on the nose, the same. He's a CDM. What do you expect? He's not a CDM, Curtis, in my opinion. He's not a CDM. I don't think he is a CDM. Oh, we've just had a coffee been bought. And why is that not showing me on here? Hold on. Thank you for who bought the coffee. Thank you so much for buying the coffee. I haven't got it up on my screen. I appreciate the caffeine injection. Yates you put next to Sangare as a box-to-box disruptor. I think he's more like an 8.5. He's not a full 8. Doesn't matter what you think. That is how he played. Always been played. Well, actually, Curtis, in the last game he played as a 10. Played as a 10. Okay. So that was Yates. Alongside him was Anderson. Anderson, he came off at the right time. For me, he was gassing. You can tell he's not sharp. Wolfie getting coffee for the entire new year. Yeah, man. Caffeine hit. I think he had a good game, but was clumsy in times. I think he came really... What I liked about his performance today for me was the link up between him and Morgan Gibbs-White at certain times. Mark, thank you for the 9 months, buddy. Appreciate it. But he's definitely ring rusty. You could see that, and clearly he had to come off. But there was times where him and Morgan Gibbs-White were linking up nicely. But I think Elliot Anderson was initiating those link-ups more so than Morgan Gibbs-White. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good performance. I thought his corners today were absolutely on the money, bar one. Real whip on them, really good direction on them. And he should have been taken, for me, he should have been taking the dead balls on the free kicks. So let's get him sharp, but he definitely wasn't match sharp for me. So I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. Let's see what you guys did. 7.2. Kenneth with the 15 months. Thank you so much, bud. Appreciate the support. Okay, so you guys thought he did a little better than I did. Fine, if you guys say so. But 7.2 is there or thereabouts the same. I gave myself a 10 for my performance in the local today, says Phil. Shout out to Phil. Well done to Phil. All right, let's move on and talk about Jota. Now, a lot of you, and don't think it went unnoticed in the live chat, was there, oh, Wolfie, your boy Jota, half-time. This was at half-time. He's done nothing. And I think, yes, I would break Jota's performance down into 3 phases. The first 10 minutes in the game, he made this run from our box to their box, won a corner, did really well, and then just faded out for the rest of the half. And then in the second half, he started like a little firecracker for me and did really well to win the penalty, worked hard, got him behind their fullback a couple of times. I thought he did all right. Martin with the 21 months, thank you so much, bro. He says, Sells keeps dropping the ball when he catches it. I have noticed that as well, mate. But I can't be bothered for a goalkeeper debate with these lot right now. I'm going to give Jota, for the assist on the penalty, for his work rates in the second half, he's a 7.5 for me. A 7.5. But what I will say is he was better than Elanga has been all season. And he, remember as well, before you lot judge him, he hasn't had a run in the team. And this was his first start, correct me if I'm wrong, in the Premier League, right? So I think he was good for an opening full debut performance, if you like. And he's got great hair. He's got great hair. So I'm giving him, what did I say? 7.5. Do what you guys did. 7.7. 7.7 from you. I'm okay with that. Anywhere between a 7.5 and an 8, I think is good for Jota. Okay, next. I think this. I can't wait to see what you guys went on Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't think he was that influential today, if I'm being honest with you. I think some of his passes were not great. Some of his flicky, tricky stuff though did come off, and I don't think he was completely in control of it. I'm not making excuses for him, Mark. But it looked pretty, but I don't think he was in control of it. Again, he needed to come off. You can tell he hasn't had game time for a while. And so sometimes, I don't know how to describe this, but there were some times where he wasn't quite alert and ready for the pass that came in him. That 1-2 with where Elliot Anderson got obstructed, I felt Morgan Gibbs-White was like half a second off on that, and you can tell he's lacking in match sharpness. His shooting was horrific, absolutely horrific today. He had one shot in the first half and a second one in the second half. That wasn't really a shot; it kind of bumbled through. But it's just too weak from the edge of the box. So, but overall, look, he's back. We've got our two creative players in the middle. I'm not complaining. I think he's a 7 out of 10 for me. Not amazing, not bad. Not bad. See what you guys did? Exactly the same. Bang on. How the hell did you lot get an average of exactly 7? Like, did you all vote 7? Maybe half of you voted 6, half of you voted 7. Who knows? We look so much better than Morgan Gibbs-White there, says Anan. Hot take, Morgan Gibbs-White is actually a number 8, not a 10, says Curtis. You know what? He was playing quite deep in a lot of that second half. Got some minutes for the 2 games. Got some minutes for the 2 games coming up and wasn't dreadful. So a 6, says Simon. His shooting was so weak. It really was. But maybe his ankle's still not fully healed. I don't know. That's a weak excuse if I've ever heard one. Okay, this one's going to be interesting from you lot on Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, I do feel like there is a current movement in the fan base to say that he hasn't been great over the last few games. And I would tend to agree with that. I don't know. I just feel he's lacking confidence right now for me. And I think he's a confidence player. Like, you didn't really see, he cut inside to go for his, finesse shot about 2 or 3 times. But the way he cut the ball in, he was taking such a big over heavy touch that he wasn't able to, he would lose the ball after that. He went outside once or twice, and then he crossed the ball in once and hit the defender, Tanzabi, I forgot his name now, Tanzabi, in the face with his left foot. I just don't think he's in a right headspace now, or a confidence space, or whatever you want to call it. And he needs to be rested for a game. I wouldn't start him against Man City. In fact, Man City, I would go with the same style as the Liverpool one. I think he was probably the weakest player out there today for me. And I just think he needs a goal. I think Nuno's trying to play him into form. And that, I get it, but at the same time, man, like, the collective is more important. I'm going to give him a 5. I can't go any higher than a 5. I was contemplating a 4, if I'm honest with you, but I'm going to go a 5. Let's see what you guys did. You guys went 4.8. All right, about the same. Not bad, about the same. Quick reminder, please do hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And then let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, who got his goal. For me, if I'm honest with you, he was a bit of a passenger in the first half. He couldn't really get involved in the game. The long balls coming up to him from cells. I don't really. He didn't win many of those, or I may be wrong, but I can't remember him winning many of those. What I did like, I liked his performance a bit more in the second half. I think that second one was a penalty. The third one was not, but he showed a little bit of turn of pace to get there for that third one. Outside of that, if you're being honest, I think he had a quiet game. But the way he just thunder blasted that penalty straight down the middle was a sight to behold for me. And in the end, he bags another goal, gets 9. He's third in the league. Has he leveled or broken Brian Roy's record now? Which hurts, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't know what to give him, guys. A 7. I'm gonna go 7. Is that fair? He's equaled Brian Roy's record. Brian Roy's my all-time favorite player, man. He's matched it. Okay, I'm giving him a 7. If he didn't score the goal, you probably score him about a 6. So you give him 1. Yeah, I think 7. 7's the right number. I think 7's the right number. It's the 6 minus the goal for me. That makes sense. Let's see what you guys did. 7.2. All right, you're using the same logic as me. He has done his job, Kyle. You're spot on. Job done. Got the goal. 3 points in the bag. I'm really happy, man, because I was worried about today. I was really worried about today. But we've got the points in the bag. Okay, let's move on to the substitutes. I think Dominguez was first on, wasn't he? I still say I would have started him ahead of Yates. I thought he was okay, but a little sloppy in possession, if I'm being honest with you. There's a couple of times where his clearances weren't great. He's good at being a Kante for me. In an N'Golo Kante, busy, gets around. 1 minute he's on the left, then he's on the right. He's got a good engine on him. I don't know if he provides for me enough creativity in the transition, going from winning that tackle to then finding a winger or one of the midfielders or something like that. I think he breaks up the play well. His engine is really good, but I don't know if he's I don't know if he's definitely a starter. This is going to vex Ant, but I don't really care. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 for me. I think that's a fair score. I don't know if you guys will agree or not. We're about to find out. Let's see what you guys went with. You guys, 6.1. Okay. All right, chat. You're in tune today. I'm liking the chat. All you lot, they're in the chat right now. You need to be in and voting every single game because you're not too far off being absolutely bang on. Carl says so. I like Dominguez. Busy, good engine. Yeah, I agree with that. King of the press, that's what he is. I now clearly clearing the ball off the line, says Wake Up. I'd like to see him alongside Sangare. I would like to see that combo as well, mate. No one was atrocious, but no one was outstanding either, says Curtis. I thought Aino was. And I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi was really poor. But this is the beauty of this channel. You guys are entitled to your opinions and you get to say them freely. Okay, then we saw the finishers coming on. So Moreno came on. Where is he? I don't know about Moreno's performance, if I'm being honest with you guys. I didn't think it was amazing. My problem was once they came on, I felt like we played too deep. And then every time we got the ball, we were just punting it forward, clearing the ball. So, I don't know. Wolfie, who would be your midfields two now then, once Sangare's fit? If everyone's fit, Sangare and Danilo for me. I thought he was okay, but I didn't really see a massive uptake from Nico Williams. I'll give him a 6. 6 out of 10 for me. Let's see what you guys did. Bang on. 6.08. Basically a 6.1 from you guys. Not bad, chat. You are in tune. Okay, next on. Who was next on? Morato. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't really notice him. I can't even find him. That's how little I know. Where is he? What the hell's his name again? Morato. Oh, there it is. Found him. I didn't notice him, so I can't comment too much on him. At that stage, I was just like more concerned about keeping the ball out of the back. So I can't honestly, hand on heart, comment too much. So I'm gonna defer to whatever scoreline you guys went with. Let's see what you guys did. A 6.2. A 6.2. Jess with the £2. Hey, Jess, good to see you. She goes, my boy got the win, and she was there for it. Congratulations, Jess. Thank you so much for the £2. I hope you enjoyed your day out at the City Ground. Okay, you guys went 6.2 for him. Who was next? Elanga, I did notice. Elanga is a no. I'm sorry, he's still a no for me. Even, how long did he get? About 15 minutes if you include injury time? Didn't really impact the game for me. Are we going to have a video of Jess meeting Chris Wood? I don't think it actually happened, mate. I need to catch up with Jess afterwards and see if the club sorted her out or not. That's a whole other thing. So what was I saying? Yeah, Elanga, I didn't really like his performance. I can't be bothered to go on about him. I'll give him a 5. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Let's see what you guys did. 5.6 for Elanga. And then the final sub was Sosa. He came. This is probably a black mark for me against Nuno. We'll talk about Nuno in just a second. He came on too late. He came on in the 88th minute. It was a clock killing sub, wasn't it? Well, you can't really judge him, so I'll just give him a 6. He had a couple of nice touches. Yeah, it is an agenda because he doesn't play well. He doesn't play well, so that's why it's an agenda. I have an agenda against players that don't play well. 6 out of 10. He needs more minutes. Callum Hudson-Odoi should have come off a lot earlier for him. I don't think that sub timing was. I get why he did it, but it is what it is. You guys went a 6.15. And then Nuno. Okay, for me, I thought the team selection was decent. I was quite happy with the team selection. I wasn't happy with the first half performance. I was happy with the way he got them out into the second half. If I'm being honest with you, I wasn't that impressed with the final 15-20 minutes. On another day, we could have conceded, but you know, they held firm, to be fair to them, in terms of their shape and everything. I just feel that Callum Hudson-Odoi needed to come off earlier, and can you guys stop whoever that is spamming, please, mods? Thank you. And I think Sosa should have come on way earlier than that. It was just too late. It was just too late. So but he got a point and he got the clean sheet. As I said in the opener to this, Nuno wanted a clean sheet and a 1-0. If you'd offered Nuno a 1-0 victory before the match, he would have beat your hand off and said, that's exactly what I want. So he got exactly what he wants, and we got the 3 points, and that's exactly what I'm hoping. Exactly, it's home to Ipswich. We could have been a bit more on the front foot if their equaliser is Luton all over again. Yeah, I think, look, the way I read that second half was Nuno said to the players, you've got 15 minutes, 20 minutes after we've scored to go and get a second. If you haven't got the second, I'm locking it down. It's like lights out time. And that's what he did, because I thought that 20-minute period after we scored, or maybe 15-minute period after we scored, the pressing was brilliant. We were on the front foot. We were locking Ipswich back in their own half. And then when we made the substitutions, normally when he goes for the finishers, you'd see Morato coming up forward, you know, pressing the ball and meeting it. Whereas what happened is we dropped the lines back really deep to the edge of our box. Now, in hindsight, Ipswich couldn't break it. So Nuno's fully justified in the way he did it. I just would like us to put out a statement. Once we've gone 1-0 up, get a second and a third. And it felt like we were going to get that second and the third, but after the subs came on, you were just like 1-0 and we're done. But 3 points in the bag, 6th place, it's all good. I'm going to give Nuno an 8 out of 10. Not for the style, but for him getting exactly what he set out to achieve. I didn't like the last 15 minutes. I didn't like the first half, but tactically, he was spot on to the goals of what he wanted to do. So it's an 8 out of 10 for me. For Nuno, you guys have gone a lot lower. You got 7.3. I get it. I can see why it would be rated lower, but looking at the bigger picture of it, 2 L's in a row, we needed a win, we'd conceded 6, clean sheet, blah blah blah. I think for me, yeah, I would give him an 8. Okay, let's do the man of the match. Who do you guys want? Get some suggestions in the chat. Who should we go for man of the match? And also, while you're getting your suggestions, and double check you've hit that like button and make sure you've subscribed as well. So I think Einar has to be one for me. Jota up there. Yeah, Milenkovic. I would like it, you know, in the next game or two for it to be all our attacking players. Okay, let's go with Milenkovic, Einar, Jota. What are the names are you guys chucking out? Jess, you can't just chuck in Wood. I mean, can you chuck in Wood? Why is my boy screaming? Have Arsenal scored or something? Phil, no, you can't win it. All right, Murillo. It just feels like a bit of a defensive set of 4, but anyway, there it is. There's your 4. Get your votes in now. I'll give you 30 seconds to get your votes. They have scored. My God, he screamed like a girl. And Einar takes an early lead with 54% of the vote. Milenkovic, oh no, Jota's moved into second. Excuse me. With 22% of the vote. Oh my God, this is really close for second place. Milenkovic is now creeping into second place ahead of Jota. Murillo with 10% of the vote. Can anyone catch Einar? They're slowly roping him back in with 43% of the vote. If you want to vote, you've got 10 seconds. Just click on the tab that's there in the live chat. Gabrielle from the corner, shock horror. I'm losing my voice. I'm going to need to drink those coffees you also generously have donated. Yes, Jess, I know. He's the reason. Alrighty then, Einar with 45% of the vote. Looks like he is going to be your man of the match. You got 5 more seconds to vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your man of the match with 44% of the vote goes to Ola Einar. Milenkovic in second, Jota in third, and Murillo in 4th place. All right, well, that was a good all-round day. We won. We got the points done. A quick reminder, Grumpy Old Reds will be on Monday. Fear not. There'll be a video, I think, on the channel tomorrow if I get time before I have to go out for my anniversary. Otherwise, it'll be business as usual from Monday. Remember, Forest are playing Man City on Wednesday. There's going to be a jam-packed week of content, day in, day out, as always. So do take a quick second, hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. Go check out football prizes for the double-signed framed Elanga Hudson-Odoi shirt with an Insta prize win of Einar and Moreno. We'll see you then. Come on, you Reds.